I recently ran into a pretty big issue after a major software upgrade, and it reminded me of the importance for both individuals and businesses, but even more so for businesses, why it's essential to exercise extreme due diligence when performing any sort of major upgrade and before you roll out in a live production environment. Because if something goes wrong, if you haven't done the planning, if you haven't done the testing, if you haven't done everything possible to make sure that there are no bugs, there are no glitches, there are no potential issues that can result in unplanned downtime, then you're putting your business at risk. And granted, you can't always, test for every single scenario. And sometimes, especially with small businesses, it may not be possible to test everything before going into a live production environment. There are so many reasons why that may be impossible at times. And given that, I started my career in IT, so I know that with some major upgrades and major updates, sometimes there isn't the ability to test to the level that you want to be sure that we've covered all the bases. And we know that in a worst case scenario, here's the backup plan. We can revert, we can roll back, we can do all these things. And we know from experience and looking at some of these big major tech companies that sometimes they may do testing and they may do all these preparations and something can still go wrong. And then even if they roll back or they revert or they restore from a backup, it can have a crippling effect. So for any business, it is so essential to take the necessary precautions and to take the extra steps to be sure you exercise due diligence whenever possible before doing any sort of major rollout, any sort of major upgrade, especially in a live production environment.